I stand alone in the bridal suite at Willamette Valley Vineyard, gazing at my reflection in the full-length mirror. The wedding dress hugs me flawlessly. Every seam, every tiny crystal, exactly where it belongs. The makeup artist outdid herself. My eyes look larger, my cheekbones sharper, my lips painted the perfect rose hue. On the vanity, my bouquet of white roses waits patiently. I check my phone again, the 14th time in 20 minutes. Still nothing. No text from Mom, no call from Dad, not even a quick message from Logan. A soft knock interrupts the silence. Martha, the wedding planner, pokes her head through the door, her polite smile failing to hide the concern behind it. It's time, Caroline. Are you ready? My gaze drifts toward the window overlooking the garden. 90 guests sit neatly in rows of white chairs. The string quartet plays something gentle and practiced. And in the front row, 3 empty seats stare back at me like unspoken accusations. They're not coming, are they? I manage, my voice trembling despite my effort to steady it. Martha's smile falters. There's still time, she offers, but we both know it's a lie. I inhale deeply and smooth the silk of my gown. Let's go. The garden doors open. 90 heads turn. I walk alone down the aisle, their sympathetic eyes brushing against me like physical touches. Soft pats of pity that make my skin crawl. Some whisper. Others give me reassuring smiles that only deepen the hollow ache in my chest. At the altar, Ethan waits, his eyes locked on mine. The warmth radiating from him nearly drowns out the echo of my mother's voice from 3 days ago. We'll try, sweetie. Logan's firm has an event that weekend. Her dismissive tone had cut through the phone like she was declining a lunch invite, not her only daughter's wedding. I can pay for the flights, I'd pleaded. The hotel, anything please, Mom. In the background, Dad's voice had drifted in. Tell her we're busy right now. Step by step, I breathe in, then out. I won't cry. I won't give them that satisfaction, even in their absence. When I reach Ethan, he takes my hands. Warm, solid, real. I'm here, he whispers, just for me. And for a fleeting moment, that's enough. Suddenly, I'm 8 years old again, standing in our living room while Mom and Dad admire Logan's debate trophy. They arrange it carefully on the mantel, step back to admire it from every angle, snapping pictures to send to relatives. My art contest certificate sits forgotten in a kitchen drawer. I'd shown it to them proudly, bubbling with excitement as I told them the teacher said I had exceptional talent. Mom had barely glanced up. That's nice, honey, she'd said, turning back to stir the pot on the stove. Later, Dad ruffled my hair absently. Logan needs more support. He's going places, he'd explained when I asked why they always went to his events but never mine. You understand, don't you, Caroline? I tried harder after that. Academic awards, scholarships, a career built from sheer determination. Each success, another attempt to make them look my way. Each one barely acknowledged, if at all. The ceremony continues around me. I recite my vows, my voice growing steadier with each word. I promise a future built on truly seeing one another. Ethan understands what I mean. When the officiant pronounces us husband and wife, Ethan's mother pulls me into a warm hug. You're one of us now, dear, she whispers, and something tight in my chest finally eases. Just a little. The photographer captures us spinning under the string lights. Ethan's cousins laugh and join us, circling us with music and joy. For a while, I forget the empty seats, the unanswered phone, the family-shaped void hovering over the night. Later, during the reception, my college roommate Sarah lifts her glass. To finding the family who deserves you, she says, her eyes fierce and loyal. The truth of her words hits me like a punch to the ribs. All these years I've been chasing approval from people who never meant to give it. When the music quiets, I step away and check my phone one last time. Still nothing. No calls, no texts, not even a simple congratulations. Ethan finds me there staring at the blank screen. They missed something beautiful today, he murmurs, wrapping his arm around me. I look up at him, the man who's never made me earn his love. I think of his family's easy warmth, of the friends who traveled across the country just to be here. I set the phone down. Their choice, I say, feeling lighter than I have in years. Not my burden. And for the first time, I almost believe it. 2 years later, I lean back in my office chair, staring at the notification glowing on my screen. Acquisition of Crescent Motion Studio finalized. $21 million, 5 years of work. 2 years of negotiation. Validation, finally, in 8 figures. The door bursts open. My team rushes in with champagne and plastic flutes. "To Caroline," says Jen, my creative director, raising her glass. The woman who built something from nothing while certain people weren't watching. I smile, clinking glasses with the 12 people who actually showed up for me and unlike my family. Then my phone buzzes. An Instagram notification. Logan has posted about his twins' private school fundraiser. I shouldn't look. I do anyway. There they are, Mom and Dad standing proudly beside Logan and his wife, Hannah. Their daughters in matching plaid uniforms. The caption reads, "Family tradition continues." 3rd generation at Westridge Academy. Dad's arm is around Logan's shoulder. Mom beams at her granddaughters. I scroll through more posts. Their Hawaiian vacation, Dad's retirement party, the Christmas gathering I wasn't invited to. Every photo perfect. Everyone missing me. More telling than the pictures is what they imply. The luxury trips, the private school tuition, the $1 million home. Logan's modest law firm couldn't possibly fund all that. According to gossip from distant relatives, my parents have been quietly supporting him for years, draining their retirement to sustain his image. Meanwhile, my $21 million deal doesn't even earn me a text. Jen touches my arm. "You drifted off for a second." I lock my screen. Just checking messages. Where were we? The celebration continues, but my thoughts keep circling. I opened my parents' profiles later that night. Post after post about Logan, his family, their milestones. My name appears once on a generic birthday post from last year. No photo. I close the laptop and make a decision. The next morning, I call my financial advisor. The Porsche, tan metallic gray. I'd like to finalize the purchase today. 3 hours later, I'm signing the papers for a $135,000 car. Extravagant, unnecessary, and exactly what I want. Not because I need their approval, but because I never needed their money. At home, I snap a photo of the car gleaming in my driveway and post it with a simple caption. Dreams realized. 3 days pass. Nothing. Then, on Wednesday afternoon, my phone lights up with a name I haven't seen in 5 years. Mom. My stomach tightens as I answer. "Hello, Caroline?" Her voice carries that familiar edge of authority and urgency she only uses when something's wrong. "We need to talk." "Family meeting tomorrow?" "Family meeting?" I repeat, disbelief sharpening my tone. After 5 years of silence, "You're calling about a family meeting. You say it's important." There's a pause, and I hear Dad's voice faintly in the background. "Tell her it's important," he says, as if I can't hear him. "What's so important?" I ask. My wedding wasn't important. My business wasn't important. What suddenly matters now? Mom's voice tightens. "It's complicated, financial matters. We need to talk as a family, of course. They must have seen the car. They must know about the acquisition. And now somehow, I'm family again. Tomorrow at 2, I reply, then hang up. The next morning, I slide into my new Porsche. The leather seats cool against my back. The drive to my childhood home takes 40 minutes. Plenty of time to remember all the birthdays they celebrated without me, the milestones that went unacknowledged, the holidays they spent together while I sat alone. When I pull into the circular driveway, my sleek gray Porsche gleams like something from another world beside their old colonial house. For a moment, I stay seated, fingers clenched around the wheel. The last time I stood on that porch was 6 years ago when I told them I was marrying Ethan. Mom had smiled politely. Dad checked his watch, clearly waiting for me to leave. They've never needed me before. Why now? My phone buzzes. A message from Ethan. "Remember who you are. Call me if you need extraction." I can't help but smile. Another notification, an email from Naomi Blake, the investor who believed in Crescent Motion before anyone else did. "Your worth isn't defined by those who couldn't see it." One more alert, my assistant confirming tomorrow's meetings. Don't let them take too long. You've got the production review at 4. I inhale deeply, hearing my therapist's words from last week echo in my mind. Boundaries aren't punishment. They're protection. I straighten my shoulders and step out of the car. Before I can knock, the door opens. Mom and Dad stand there, their expressions shifting from irritation to shock as their eyes flick to the Porsche. "You've done well for yourself," Dad says. Not hello, not we've missed you. Just that. Yes, I reply simply, no hugs, no warmth. They lead me to the dining room where Logan and Hannah already sit, their faces arranged in practiced concern. "Caroline," Logan nods, as if we'd spoken last week instead of half a decade ago. "Let's get straight to business," Dad says. pulling out a stack of financial folders. I stay standing, my purse still strapped across my shoulder, the only visible sign of the storm beneath my calm. No, I say quietly. First, I want to know why I'm suddenly worth including in family talks after years of being excluded. Mom and Dad exchange glances. Logan fidgets. We can talk about that later, Mom says, slipping into that same dismissive tone I remember too well. Right now, we have more pressing concerns. I'm not in a hurry, I answer, unmoving. And I'm not interested in being family only when it's convenient for you. For the first time in my adult life, I see uncertainty flicker across my father's face. And in that moment, I realize they need me, and I get to decide what happens next. The dining room feels smaller than I remember. Richard sits at the head of the table like he's chairing a board meeting, not facing a family crisis. Elaine sits beside him, posture perfect despite the worry etched across her face. Across from me, Logan slouches in his seat, designer shirt rumpled at the cuffs. Hannah sits next to him, a leather photo album resting on her lap. It's foreclosure, Caroline, Richard says, his voice firm but unsteady. Logan's mortgage is 3 months behind. The twins' school tuition hasn't been paid. I say nothing. I let the silence grow. 2 years of no contact. And this is what finally brings them to me. You need to help your brother. He slides a set of loan papers across the polished table, already filled out. The assumption stings. Think of your niece and nephew, Mom says softly, her voice cracking just enough to sound rehearsed. They're children. They shouldn't suffer for this. Logan leans forward. We're family. That's what family does. When one of us succeeds, we help the others. Hannah pushes the photo album toward me. They ask about you all the time, she says, pointing to pictures of smiling kids I barely recognize. Maddie wants to know why you never visit. Richard clears his throat. We've done what we can. Our retirement fund is... He hesitates, glancing at Elaine. We've been helping them as best we could. The message is clear. My success makes me responsible for them. I close the album and slide it back across the table. Where were you at my wedding? I ask evenly. Logan blinks. What? My wedding? 2 years ago. Where were you? Elaine touches her throat. We were busy. Logan had that firm event. It wasn't convenient, Richard adds, as if he's explaining a missed dinner reservation. I nod slowly, something solidifying inside me. And yet here you are, because you saw the Porsche on Instagram. That's why you called. Logan's face reddens. That's not fair, isn't it? I sit straighter, my spine unbending. I built everything myself. Every scholarship, every client, every sleepless night. Where were any of you? Richard narrows his eyes. What does that have to do with this? Everything, I say, folding my hands on the table, mirroring his pose. Convince me why I should write a check today. Logan slams his hand down. You always had to prove something. Always showing off. Some of us just wanted normal lives. Richard rests a hand on his shoulder. Your brother had potential. We needed to support that. You were always independent, Elaine's voice wavers. We're still your parents. Only by title, I answer softly, steady even in the sting. You missed my graduation, my scholarship ceremony, my company launch, my wedding. I tap the table with each memory. You missed my life. And now you want a piece of what that life created. Caroline, Richard starts. You didn't build this success, I cut in. So you don't get to share it. My phone vibrates. A message from Ethan. You okay? Meeting running long in hero mode? His name makes me smile. I think of Naomi's words when she invested. You don't need approval from anyone who can't see your light. I think of my team. Their faces lit with pride when we celebrated the acquisition. People who believed in me. People who chose me. Inside my briefcase rests the signed contract for the new foundation. People who trust me with purpose, not guilt. Richard pushes the papers closer. We're only asking for something reasonable. Family helps family. The interest rate is fair, Mom adds, as if sweetening a business deal. Logan smirks. Blood is thicker than water, Caroline. I stand, slowly, deliberately. Their eyes follow every move. I place my briefcase on the table. I've made a different choice, I say. Logan leans forward, eyes narrowing. Richard shifts in his seat. Mom twists a napkin in her lap. Instead of a checkbook, I pull out a single document and set it before them. This is the announcement for the Rivera Media Scholarship Foundation, I say, $16 million dedicated to supporting young women in digital media arts. I smooth the paper with my fingers. The press release goes out tomorrow. 16 million? Logan chokes out. Named for Miss Rivera, I continue, my high school media arts teacher, the one who showed up when my family didn't. The funds are protected in a trust. The board approved it last week. The room goes silent. Heavy, final. I'm helping girls who never got the applause I didn't get, I say, gathering my things. That's what family means to me. Logan's face twists, anger boiling. You're wasting it on strangers. On nobody girls, who truly deserve more than what I received. I snap my briefcase shut. Girls who need someone to notice them, to invest in their potential. My parents sit frozen, staring at the paper that represents millions they'll never touch. I lift my phone, tilting the screen toward them. A recording app shows the timer running, 36 to 14 and counting. I've also saved every manipulative message from today. I whisper, every threat, every demand, every guilt-laden note, just in case anyone tries to get creative with legal claims against the foundation. I move toward the door, each step echoing in the quiet. Behind me, Logan's chair scrapes sharply against the floor. You can't just leave. His voice trembles. We need that money. I pause at the doorway, not looking back. No, Logan, what you needed was to show up. At my graduation, at my company launch, at my wedding. I place my hand on the doorknob. That window has closed. The door clicks shut behind me, a soft sound that feels like freedom. The Porsche hums beneath me as I leave my childhood home, my knuckles relaxing on the steering wheel. The farther I go, the steadier I feel. I press the call button on the dashboard. It's done, I tell Ethan when he picks up. They revealed themselves completely. How bad was it? His voice fills the car, concern wrapped in every word. Exactly what we expected. I exhale, feeling lighter than I have in hours. Logan lost it when I showed him the foundation paperwork. Dad tried to patch things, but Mom only wept over family obligations. Are you okay? A fair question. I glance at my reflection in the rearview mirror, expecting tears or embarrassment. Nothing. Just a clear-eyed woman staring back. I'm better than okay. For the first time, I saw them clearly without hoping for anything different. I'm proud of you, Ethan says. Remember, board meeting at 9 tomorrow morning. Everything's ready for the press release. The timing was deliberate. Establish the foundation legally before any family confrontation. Schedule the announcement before they could regroup. Legal structures, no emotions. They couldn't breach them. The Rivera Media Scholarship will be my legacy, not a stage for family drama. I'll be ready, I promise. Before ending the call, the first message arrives at 11:47 p.m. By midnight, my phone buzzes relentlessly with family emergency texts. I silence it, face down on the nightstand. The house is quiet, except for Ethan's steady breathing beside me. I don't need to read them to know their contents. Morning brings 6 voicemails from Mom, her tone shifting from tearful pleas about unity to sharp accusations of betrayal, ending with threats about what people will think of a daughter abandoning her family. You've handled worse, I remind myself as I apply mascara, my morning routine grounding me. My navy suit, the one I wore signing the acquisition papers, hangs ready on the closet door. Ethan hands me coffee in my favorite mug. Logan's calling your business contacts, he says, scrolling his phone. And your dad tried reaching my uncle. Predictable. I sip, bitter but fortifying. They're moving faster than I expected, but not more cleverly. The foundation board meeting runs seamlessly. 12 accomplished women from media and finance, all personally vetted, all dedicated to supporting young female artists. The press release passes unanimously. Launch details finalized. First scholarship recipient to be chosen in 6 months. I review the venue proposal when Janine from reception calls. Miss Rivers, your family's here. They're making a scene. Through the glass walls, I see security already heading to the lobby. I straighten papers that don't need straightening. Have security escort them out, calmly and professionally. Through the windows, Mom's voice rises above the office hum. My daughter is abandoning her family. Her hands wave wildly, pearl earrings swinging. Logan stands beside her, arms crossed, face flushed the exact shade of red he wore as a denied child. My team looks to me. I rise, smooth my skirt, and step to my office door. It's being handled, I say calmly. I've practiced for this moment. Let's continue with our work. Security leads my family toward the elevators. Logan shouts back, "This isn't over!" Family obligations can't be ignored. That evening, I draft one email to all three. I have documented your harassment at my workplace. Any further attempts to contact me here will result in a formal complaint. All family matters must go through my attorney, whose contact details are attached. Caroline, direct and clear. Patricia, my therapist, nods. 2 days later, we sit in her sunlit office, the faint scent of jasmine tea in the air. How did it feel sending that? She asks. Necessary. I trace the pattern on the armchair. Not satisfying? She presses. Exactly. More like setting a boundary. They're showing who they've always been, she observes. People reveal themselves under pressure. What you're seeing now isn't new, just intensified. I realize the truth washes over me. I wanted their love. They wanted my resources. Important distinction. Years of childhood neglect, absent parents, appearing only when I had something to offer. It wasn't my job to earn their love. It was theirs to give freely. And now I know I'm not responsible for fixing them, I say, feeling it settle in my bones. There's freedom in that. Next morning, Logan contacts the Portland Chronicle about a family dispute. The reporter, sharper than he expected, asks why none of them attended my wedding. The story paints exactly what he never intended. Absent parents suddenly interested only when money appeared. Mom's social media rant sparks an unexpected wave of support. Former classmates, business associates, even distant relatives reach out in solidarity. Richard's attempts to contact investors fail. They refuse to discuss a personal matter. The community rallies around the Scholarship Foundation, with applications pouring in months early. The Portland Business Journal requests an interview. I agree. Setting firm parameters, we discuss the scholarship's purpose and impact, not family matters. Reporter Delea Warren meets me in the foundation's temporary office. This is impressive, she says, reviewing the prospectus. $16 million is substantial seed funding. What inspired such generosity? I choose my words carefully. A teacher once saw potential in me when no one else did. Miss Rivera changed my life by noticing me. I want to give young women the same chance. You've built an impressive career, Delea notes. Crescent Motion's acquisition was huge last year. Is your family proud? I meet her eyes. My success came without family support. They weren't at my wedding, my graduation, or when I sold the company. She pauses, understanding the context behind the foundation. Later, the article appears, Self-made success creates legacy of support. My generosity contrasts sharply with my family's entitlement. When Logan's house foreclosure news breaks, the community connects the dots without my input. Ethan manages security. My team handles communications and prioritizes foundation work. Naomi Blake, my first investor and mentor, releases a statement endorsing my commitment to lifting others, not enabling dependency. College friends form a protective circle, filling our calendar with distractions from family drama. Patricia provides support in weekly sessions. My chosen family, intentional and supportive, becomes my anchor. 2 weeks later, I receive the Business Leadership Award from the Women in Media Alliance. On stage, facing people who genuinely celebrate me, I see how the tables have turned. Parents' retirement plans are delayed indefinitely. Hannah's social status erodes. Logan's twins will attend public school. Meanwhile, the foundation flourishes, its positive impact spreading beyond Portland. Pain has been transformed into purpose. The scholarship committee chooses 3 finalists. Janine places their portfolios on my desk. They want my input by Friday. I open the first file, work from a young woman whose teacher noticed her talent when no one else did. The circle is complete. Healing comes through action, not dwelling on the past. Family defined by deeds, not claims. For the first time, I feel fully seen. Weeks later, I delete Aunt Meredith's 4th voicemail without listening past her plea, "Everyone misses you." Caroline. Thanksgiving invitation sits in my inbox. Family needs to be together. Transparent manipulation. My phone chimes. A text from Cousin Drew. I don't understand the rift between you and Uncle Richard. Can't you just talk? Of course, he doesn't understand. He wasn't at my empty wedding. He didn't witness 20 years of invisibility. Yesterday, a letter arrived from Mom. Elegant handwriting, unmistakably hers. "We always believed in you," she penned, as though trying to rewrite the story of us. The envelope rests half consumed in my fireplace, its edges charred and curling like the deceit inside. Dad called my office last week. "We need to talk," he said, his tone offering no recognition of their misdeeds. My assistant, following strict orders, told him I was permanently unavailable. The breaking point arrives when Logan sends the twins to my office with handmade cards. "We miss Aunt Caroline," scribbled in childish handwriting I know isn't theirs. The manipulation is so blatant it turns my stomach. They are pulling every emotional string imaginable. That evening, Ethan studies the cards on the kitchen counter. Their desperation is palpable. I sift through a week's worth of their gestures, yet still no real apology has come. Next, the family attorney calls, voice carefully neutral. "There are moral responsibilities to consider, Caroline. Family bonds come with certain obligations. The message is unmistakable. I am cast as the villain, the cold-hearted daughter who abandoned her struggling kin." Pastor Wilson from the church I left years ago leaves a voicemail. "Your parents are deeply worried. Maybe we could meet to discuss reconciliation." The segment moves to financial comparisons, highlighting our transparent governance versus other mismanaged ventures, subtly including Logan's business failures. Maya watches, riveted. Facts speak for themselves. I pile dessert plates steadily. The community has acknowledged what my family refused to see. The next morning, my parents request a downtown coffee shop meeting. I arrive in the Porsche, the car that finally captured their attention after years of silence. Dad looks older than I remember, defeat etched into his features. "We should have been there," he says, eyes on his untouched coffee. "At the wedding?" I ask, though I know it's broader. "Everywhere," he admits, voice cracking. "All those years." Mom's eyes glisten with tears. "How do we fix this?" 3 months ago, I might have grabbed at any opening. Now I feel calm clarity. "Some things can't be fixed," I tell them. "Only accepted." Mom flinches. "I'm not shutting the door forever," I continue. "But I need accountability, not convenience. I'll consider limited contact after you begin therapy." "That's unnecessary," Dad starts, old dismissiveness creeping in. "It's non-negotiable." I sip my tea, the warmth spreading like certainty. They exchange a glance, the silent communication of people who never anticipated consequences. Logan's financial collapse has stripped away their illusions of superiority. My success exists beyond their reach. The foundation flourishes, independent of them. When they leave, no agreements are made, no concessions offered. I watch them go, a sensible sedan now replacing the luxury vehicles of old. I drive away without looking back. Freedom fills each heartbeat. The foundation awaits. Maya's project needs review. My chosen family expects me for dinner. For the first time, I move towards something, not away from someone, and it feels transformative. In the sunlit studio of the Crescent Foundation, I watch Maya adjust her camera. Morning light filters through tall windows, casting golden patterns on the polished floors. It's been a year since I last confronted my family. "What do you think about this angle?" Maya asks, her eyes bright with the same spark Miss Rivera once saw in mine. "Shift it slightly left," I say. "Catch the light across the subject." My voice carries the calm authority of a mentor, not the desperate pleading of a daughter seeking approval. Behind her, framed photos of scholarship recipients' projects line the wall, a record of voices that might have been silenced, just as mine almost was. My office here replaces the childhood bedroom where I once longed to be seen. Every detail, from the ergonomic chair to proudly displayed awards, was chosen deliberately. Nothing inherited, nothing tainted by guilt. "I finished the final cut of my documentary," Maya says. "Would you watch it with me?" We move to the editing bay. Her project unfolds on a high-definition monitor. 3 generations of women in rural Oregon, captured with honesty, resilience, and beauty. Watching her work fills me with pride unlike anything before. This isn't about me. It's about what she has created and will continue to create. As the credits roll, Maya turns to me, eyes brimming. "You're the reason I believe I can do this," she says, hugging me tightly. I think of Miss Rivera, whose belief sustained me when my own parents never did. Now the cycle continues, built on genuine support rather than neglect. Later, at the Portland Arts Center, I accept a Community Leadership Award. The audience applauds, faces filled with recognition, not pity. Ethan beams in the front row. No empty seats remind me of absence tonight. Every person here truly sees me. "Thank you," I say, voice steady. This journey began in invisibility and has led to impact. For years, I measured worth by the approval I couldn't earn from those who refused it. Now, I measure it by what we create together. Standing ovation washes over me like renewal. My therapist calls it post-traumatic growth, the peace that follows accepting wounds that never fully heal. I maintain clear boundaries with extended family. Holidays now center on chosen family, celebrations filled with joy rather than dread. Ethan and I have created our own traditions. Naomi's retirement at the foundation brought together the support circles that lifted me when blood ties failed. The emergency fund for students ensures talent isn't crushed by circumstance. I understand what these young women need because I grew up without it. Unconditional belief in potential. Driving home through Portland in my Porsche, I passed the coffee shop where I once edited on a borrowed laptop. Through the window, I see my parents on the sidewalk. Our eyes meet briefly. I don't stop. No pain here, only acknowledgement. They showed me what love isn't. Ethan and my work taught me what it is. Tomorrow, Maya begins her next project. I'll be there, camera in hand, showing her the skills I honed over years of making myself visible. Family isn't who raises you,